It started like any other hearing. Rows of suited officials, the hum of procedural formality, and the quiet tension that always lingers when power is about to be challenged. But what unfolded in that chamber wasn't just another exchange of political barbs. It was a masterclass in composure, strategy, and the kind of quiet fury that doesn't just respond, it dismantles. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett didn't walk into that room looking for a fight. But when Senator Ted Cruz decided to make her the target of his interruptions, condescension, and political theater, he got far more than he bargained for. This is the story of how one woman turned a stacked deck into a viral moment of truth, and why it matters more than ever. The hearing was supposed to be routine. Cruz, known for his aggressive style and flair for spectacle, had a plan: dominate the narrative, control the optics, and corner Crockett into a defensive posture. It was a tactic he'd used before: interrupt, provoke, and then spin the reaction as weakness. But Crockett wasn't playing that game. From the moment she began speaking, her tone was measured, calm, intentional. She laid out her points with clarity and precision, citing facts, legal precedent, and data. It was the kind of opening that doesn't beg for attention. It earns it. And that's when the interruptions began. Cruz cut in mid-sentence, challenging her interpretation of the law. It wasn't a question. It was a performance. He leaned forward, voice raised, eyebrows arched. The goal was clear: throw her off balance. Crockett didn't flinch. She paused, looked directly at him, and said, "Senator, if you're going to interrupt, at least let me finish a sentence." The room shifted. The tension wasn't just between two politicians, it was between two philosophies. One rooted in dominance, the other in dignity. Over the next 10 minutes, Cruz interrupted Crockett 6 times. Each time he tried a different angle: legal semantics, tone policing, even outright dismissal of her credentials. But Crockett had done her homework. She responded not with emotion, but with evidence. She quoted case law, referenced committee rules, and calmly pointed out the irony of being lectured on decorum by someone who had just violated it. Each interruption became a beat in a rhythm she controlled, and the audience, both in the room and online, was listening. After the 6th interruption, Crockett did something unexpected. She stopped responding to Cruz directly. Instead, she addressed the committee chair, the audience, and the record. She reframed the moment. "This isn't about me," she said. "This is about a pattern of behavior that silences women, especially women of color, when they speak truth to power." It wasn't just a rebuttal. It was a reframing of the entire exchange. Suddenly, Cruz wasn't just interrupting a colleague. He was embodying a broader issue, and Crockett had just made it visible. Cruz, sensing the shift, tried one more time. He interrupted again, this time louder, more forceful, more desperate. But Crockett was ready. She turned to him and said, "Senator, you've had 6 chances to make your point. I've let you speak. Now it's my turn." The room fell silent. It wasn't just the words, it was the authority behind them. Crockett wasn't asking for permission. She was asserting her right to be heard. And in that moment, the power dynamic flipped. Within hours, clips of the exchange flooded social media. Hashtags trended. Commentators weighed in. But the most powerful reactions came from ordinary viewers. "I've never seen someone handle Cruz like that," one user wrote. "She didn't just win the argument. She exposed the playbook," said another. The moment resonated because it wasn't just political. It was personal. People saw themselves in Crockett's restraint, her resolve, and her refusal to be bullied. It wasn't just a takedown. It was a template. As the hearing wrapped up, Crockett delivered one last statement. She referenced Cruz's own campaign filings, documents that contradicted the very claims he had made during the hearing. It was surgical. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't gloat. She simply laid out the facts and let them speak. And they did. Cruz, visibly rattled, offered no rebuttal. The hearing ended not with a bang, but with a quiet, undeniable truth. Crockett had won. Not just the argument, but the respect of millions. Since the hearing, Crockett's profile has risen. But more importantly, her approach has become a model. For young politicians, activists, and anyone who's ever been interrupted, dismissed, or talked over, her story is a reminder that dignity is not weakness, that facts still matter, and that the truth, spoken calmly and clearly, can cut through even the loudest noise. This wasn't just a moment. It was a movement, and it started with one woman refusing to be silenced.